life. It should be full of adventure, self-interest, egoism. But of course, the collective city opposes this. This collective city is always so altruistic.
We are nothing. Mankind is all. By the grace of our brothers, we are allowed our lives. We exist through, by, and for our brothers who are the state. Amen. Page 21.
Let's not forget it being collective as well.
We are on in all and all in one. There are no men but only the great we, one, indivisible, and forever. Page 19.
Well, I, Prometheus, is proposing a new society for people living under this constant rule. This utopia will be called Eden, and I'll tell you why it's specifically called Eden. The name of our utopia is Eden, based on ancient history. Eden is essentially heaven at its finest. This was the place where all life was created. Like Eden, our utopia is heaven. People are allowed to do as they please, but with little rules and harsh consequences. In the story of Adam and Eve, God told them to live the way they wanted in the Garden of Eden, but with one rule. Do not eat the apples that grow from the apple tree. Due to their disobedience, Eve ate the apple, which led to the suffering of her and Adam. If you eat the apple like Eve, then you will be punished greatly, and not only will you suffer. The land of Eden will have various different biomes to help sustain new life. Unlike the depiction of the wilderness by the council, this uncharted land will contain dense forests and swamps for animals to thrive in, as well as long drawn-out plains that could be used to settle in. The climate is feasible. There will only be 2 seasons, a rainy season and a dry season. The rainy season will contain occasional rain, usually at mild/more humid conditions. In some cases, when the temperature goes down, snow will be present, but this is a rare occurrence. A dry season contains very minimal rainfall, but it will have warmer temperatures and an abundance of sunlight. Bodies of water, like lakes and rivers, are also present along with waterfalls from mountains. The government of Eden is a direct democracy. Seeing how prosperous it was used in ancient city Athens, we have decided to use it as well. The people are able to elect their candidates. The main focus in this government is to let the people have a choice. You are allowed to select your own jobs, live your own life, and make the most out of it. But if you harm or steal from others, the typical punishment is death. This may seem harsh, but think again. We are letting the people live their own life to our expense, and we would be really hurt if you try to take advantage of us. While your death will take a huge toll on your family and friends, you will take your last breath, knowing that you became a burden to your friends, and most important, your family. The everyday life in Eden would be very tranquil while living under an organized schedule that you make. You decide when to do work and when to rest. If you are zealous, you can finish work that is due next week or at a later time. We will have public gatherings every month to make sure that everything is running smoothly and if there are any issues to be dealt with. You are free to love and marry who you wish, but if you decide to host a wedding, you must invite at least one member of the round table to your wedding. The round table is basically Eden's higher-ups, which consist of the best of the best. It is mandatory to invite at least one, as it shows your loyalty towards Eden. The economy's currency will be Pax, so that everyone has the same currency. Everyone may buy foods and beverages as they please, and those who sell them will make their money that way. The food is provided to the stores for a price, and the stores will then flip it for profit. Services based on demand will also surface to help meet the needs of the people. Everyone is born with 100 Pax, which is our kind gesture towards the upcoming youth of our society. The jobs you may have are anything you imagine, as long as it abides by the rules of no harm and stealing. We all know the saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and we hear you. This society will contain the necessities for a human to have fun and enjoy life, and to get a mind off the load of work they have been gifted. Some activities include playing video games,
Outside B! Outside B!
listening to music, watching movies, and carrying on the culture and traditions you have inherited from your family. You may wonder what all of these have to do with our lovely utopia, and it's an easy question to answer. All of these examples I have listed, they indicate a sense of egoism throughout our utopia. You are capable of doing what satisfies your human mind. Whether it is changing the song you are listening to, maybe because it's a terrible genre, choosing what game to play, or even choosing to believe in what God you so trust. It is your choice, and nobody is there to stop you from pursuing your endeavors. While sports and activities would rely on a collective team, their skill will be taken into account. Sports will have different tiers based on their skill, with the best of the best getting the most attention and the worst getting the least. Sports will act as entertainment for the people of Eden and will be used as an escape to everyday life. Anyone can participate in anything they want. There are no limits. From casual activities such as volunteering and community service to professional sports like swimming and soccer. Similar to us, professional sports will act as a job where each athlete will be paid based on their performances. The amount of revenue each sport has will directly contribute to their pay. And that's it. The Utopia of Eden welcomes everyone with open arms. We hope this presentation satisfies the curiosity in which Eden possesses. A wise man once said, "Be grateful for who you are and what you have." Eden trusts that the people within the society will fully embrace their own person and talents, whilst following the rules. Now make your decision, with the freedom you can obtain by joining Eden. May Eden rise above all.